What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I'm Eric, Mr. Cincinnati Robinson. As always, I'm joined by the podcast dad himself, Chris Hoops. Choops, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm here at the regular time. Thank you. Thank you. I heard you say it yesterday and then you kind of corrected yourself, but I'm back.
Well, yeah, it's good to see you. Appreciate everybody that got to check out our doubleheader of episodes yesterday. Again, special thanks to everybody at the Georgia Wrestling History Awards for coming on this week and hyping up the events going on this weekend. So we're pulling for everybody that's been nominated. And thanks for checking out our Wind Down Wednesday episode where we just kind of caught up and shot some shit. But we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, and we are here to talk Royal Rumble. We are 2 days away, so it's about time that we give our official predictions, and we are not alone this week. Joining the show, first and foremost, we've got Justin Baird, a.k.a. Juggernaut97. We've been on a couple of streams with him over the last couple of months, but this is the first time he's joining our show. So, Justin, welcome. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for the Rumble this weekend. The show kind of looks predictable. Like the undercard looks like really predictable, but I'm excited for the Rumble matches. Rumble's always a fun thing to watch, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, thank you for joining us. And we're also joined. There is more than one Chris on this show today. A good friend of mine, Chris Hale. We survived the trenches of law school together. I think one of the memories I have that still sticks out. This was sports law class, and we were talking some WWE, and this was heavy during the Authority era. And somebody turned around, looked at both of us, and said, "This is the smartest conversation about pro wrestling that I have ever seen." And we hit it off right away. Chris Hale, how you doing, brother? Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is huge. Been following every week, following you guys and seeing the growth. So it's a pleasure. I will say the intro that you just gave me, you're setting me up for failure. I hope I live up to the smartest conversation, but I don't know if I'll live up to that. So again, thanks for having me. I'm excited. This is my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Of course, man. Yeah, no nonsense. This is going to be a great conversation regardless. Thank you all for joining us tonight. As always, before we get started, hit that QR code in the top left corner. Like, share, subscribe. Help us to run those numbers up. We are trying to get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the year. We are about 150 or so away from hitting 1,000 on X. Got some work to do on Instagram as well, but join us for this ride. New content coming out daily. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's talk the Royal Rumble. We've got 4 matches on the card this year, and we have said on our show so many times that 2024 was going to be a wild year for professional wrestling. We're 25 days in, and shit has already hit the fan. So let's get right on into it. First match. Let's start with the Women's Royal Rumble because we're probably going to see some bookending of these matches here. 30 women. Let's, I don't think there much more needs to be said. Let's kick it off with our guest, Chris, as in guest Chris, not podcast dad. I had to think about that for a second. We're going to start with you. What are you most excited for about this match?
To be quite frank, the women's division is wide open to me. I know they've really been pushing the Nia Jax return as the monster of the women's division. I want to see how she interacts in a Royal Rumble. I know she went in at the male side of the Royal Rumble and held her own a little bit, and I know she was eliminated, obviously, but I just want to see how she interacts as this push continues to go, and I really want to see if they promote her to that monster level, like a Braun Strowman or a Big Show back in the day. I think she has it in her. I know she isn't the greatest in-ring performer, but neither were they at the time. So yeah. I really don't see it. But I don't want to spoil what I believe is going to be a surprise or somebody. I want to see Jade actually in a match and have her come part of it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her.
Yeah, I mean, well said. Nia, it seems like she's kind of got this final boss in training mode that's kind of been activated. So it'll be really interesting to see where she ends up coming out in this match, whether she'll be one of those later round picks like we've seen a lot over the years with Big Show in a Royal Rumble. So that'll be interesting to see. Justin, we're going to switch it over to you. What are you most excited for about this match?
Yeah, I gotta say the women's Rumble match is a lot more unpredictable than the men's Rumble match. Like it's like Chris said, it's more wide open. Like there's a lot of things that a lot of surprises that can go down. Like I'm hoping that we get a maybe like a Mercedes Moné or like a Sasha Banks return, or maybe like a Trinity or a Naomi, something like that. Like I feel like there could be quite a bit of surprises in this women's Rumble match here. And these last few years, these women Rumble matches haven't been that great. But I think that this could be a pretty good one here. And it's gonna be interesting, like Chris said, what Nia Jax is gonna do in this match here. Like this, she's probably gonna be eliminating people left and right. And it's gonna be interesting to see what she does with Becky Lynch in this match. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be fun. And I hope Jade's gonna be in this match here. I have a feeling she is gonna be, but we'll see.
Yeah. Podcast Dad, where you at on this?
Yeah, I think this is going to be, excuse me, I think it's going to be probably more surprises than the men's Rumble. I think we're going to get a Mercedes, we're going to get a Naomi, we're going to get a Jade, possibly an AJ Lee showing up just for a one-off appearance kind of thing. But yeah, this one is a little bit, more unpredictable because I think on the graphic they showed, 6, maybe 5 that have even been announced so far. So like winner-wise, I think it's a little bit narrower than the men's, but it's a Rumble match. I love Royal Rumbles. I love the matches. I'm excited for it. And it's going to be, do they go predictable? And if they do, are they going to tell the right story? And if they don't, who's that person that can kind of take that torch and go? And maybe they're going to do a story that we're not expecting. So a lot to play with in this match.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and we've sort of informally given our predictions for various content for Main Event Network. Make sure to follow them on social media as well. And we've both kind of given our picks of Bayley kind of being the front runner for this match. But that Damage Control story aside, we've mentioned the potential returns of various talents. There are a number of stories that can be set up here. I fully expect Jade Cargill to make her debut in the Royal Rumble. I do expect her to have an outstanding showing. I think that this is, I don't see her winning this match, but get her started on the right foot with, 5 or 6 eliminations, something along those lines, just to really show, all right, the wait was worth it. Good things come to those who wait. And the fact that, she got a lot of unnecessary online criticism for not having debuted just yet, despite signing for several months now. This is a chance for her to show up and show out. We've seen the videos of her training with Natty in the dungeon. She's looked head and shoulders better than anything that she had done in AEW up until this point. So there's a lot to be excited about with her. Trinity or Naomi coming back. I mean, I don't necessarily know which names that they'll go with. I mean, everybody knows her as Naomi, and I mean, I think that's just kind of easier, But
I think that'd be pretty cool. Like if Trinity or Naomi does come in, I think that'd be pretty cool. If she's still working with like TNA, maybe that could be a way to like bridge like a working. I doubt they'll have a working relationship, but I mean it's a thing I kind of want to wish for and stuff because I like to see them two work together.
Yeah, for sure. As far as because at least from what I'm hearing, it sounds like she's finished up. But we've seen Bayley at Hard to Kill. I think Mercedes was there as well. There were rumors that Triple H had been at that event as well, with some very blurry photographs as proof. I mean, I think that there is, especially in this new era, and Kyle from On the Mark podcast also pointed this out. Mickey James appearance, we can't really rule that out either. Would be really exciting as well. Yeah,
that's going to happen, especially with Aldis and his role now. Like, I think that kind of, mended that bridge a little bit from when they let her go and sent her stuff in a bag.
Exactly. So, yeah, let's get right into predictions. We're going to start with Justin. Who you got for this Rumble?
You know what? I've been saying this like ever since like Survivor Series. I think that Bayley is going to win the Rumble here. I think she, out of the 4 horsewomen, she had her big moment like a few years ago, but like I feel like she needs to win the Rumble here. She needs to have a big moment at WrestleMania, and because I feel like the crack's starting to form with damage control. So I gotta have Bayley win. Bayley win the match here. Yeah, she's gonna win.
Yeah, Mr. Hale, how about you?
I would love to choose Bayley. Just that So if Sasha Banks returns, if Mercedes returns, and I see the Final 4 being the 4 horsewomen, and just that moment in the middle of the ring, and so the fans get the chant going, and this is awesome, and that sort of thing. So if she returns, I see that as a Final 4 and Bayley going over. If she doesn't, I see Bayley being in the Final 2, and for some reason, Damage Control will end up messing it up, and that'll create the feud for her. to go into Mania season for that and kind of break up Damage Control. With that, I want Bayley, but I don't know. It's tough, so I guess I'm going to lean Bayley, but I don't know. Becky is always the default. I just think she's going to, if the 4 horsewomen are there, she's the best out of them. So if it's either Bayley or Becky, I don't know. Like I said, this is such a wide open Rumble. I just can't choose it.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it feels like for the first time in a long time, there's some true spontaneity that could definitely happen in both of these matches. So definitely get that. Podcast Dad, what you got?
I'm gonna have to agree and say it's Bayley. I think this kind of feels like last year when Cody, we knew Cody was coming back, and it was like Cody's probably gonna win the Rumble, right? He has all the momentum. Same thing with Bayley. She's got all the momentum. The story's there. We talked about it last year of sometimes going with the obvious is okay. Like that's what we want to see. I think we all want to see Bayley and finally have a WrestleMania moment, because I don't think she has one, right? Like everyone said, the rest of the 4 horsewomen have it. Becky main evented. Charlotte was in the main event. Charlotte puts on a banger every year. Sasha main evented night 1. Bayley hasn't had anything besides, doing something with Titus O'Neil and the guy we don't name dressed up as pirates. So
that's right.
That's her Mania moment. So
For
I
sure.
think give her the Rumble and then let her go. I don't think she's going to main event a Mania night 1 or night 2, but this could be her Mania moment. So I will go Bayley.
Yeah, I am also going to say Bayley. Not only, I mean, we don't think enough about what she did as a heel during the pandemic era and how she and Sasha Banks carried SmackDown for a lot of that. That's not an easy environment to adapt to, as far as the very heavily produced, they're piping in the chants, cheers, boos, all of that. And, so there's really no way to see how that character is working with a live audience. But even without one, she made it work. 2023, I think she had like a 7% win rate. I mean, she spent most of 2023 putting everybody over, which is, speaks to the caliber of talent that she is and wanting to see everybody else have opportunity. This is the time to reward her for that. A solid Royal Rumble run. We know that this breakup with Damage Control is coming. Charlotte Flair, this is the first WrestleMania in like 8 years that she's not going to be at because of the ACL tear.
Maybe.
So,
dude, have you seen the stuff online?
She is not. I mean, she is a robot, dude. It's insane.
She's different.
The beast.
She's different.
Mm-hmm. Are you really out here thinking that Charlotte Flair could be back for WrestleMania?
I mean, look, I have gone through this injury twice, the same one she has. I've gone through it twice. I wasn't doing that this far out of surgery. Like she's a beast.
She absolutely is. I mean, so I guess we'll have to. I mean, we'll have to come back to this as a little wager between us. But I'm still gonna say Bayley here. Damage Control seems to be kind of at their wits' end with her. Obviously, this injury that Charlotte's had, for better or for worse, whether she comes back or not, there has had to be some reshuffling. I think that it probably would have been fair to say that Charlotte and Bianca would have had some sort of program going into WrestleMania. I think eventually that relationship would have soured and they might have had a marquee moment. But that's also something that Jade Cargill could thrive for. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So that was going to be my question. Who do you see Jade facing off? Because this is a moment where she debuts at a large stage, and there's always that moment in the Rumble every single year where a wrestler faces off with another wrestler in the middle of the ring, whether it was Gunther and Brock or something along those lines. Who does she face off with? Is it a Bianca? Is it a Becky? Her path is so unknown, and I'm just thinking of dream matches that I want to see. And I'm just so excited to see that. I see her being as a part far into the Royal Rumble match. I just really want to see who she's going up against.
Yeah, and I'll throw this out there, and Justin, I just want to get your thoughts on this. Because at this point, let's say for the sake of this hypothetical, Bayley wins the Rumble. So SmackDown Women's title picture is set. So Rhea's going to need an opponent for WrestleMania. What if Raw women are in the Elimination Chamber in Perth to determine And Chris, you can just wait until we get through this hypothetical, and then you can acknowledge Kyle. How about that? All right, let's work with me here. All right. But I wouldn't mind seeing Jade Cargill in the Elimination Chamber. I think that would be a fun showing, and I mean, just the size, the power, give her a late entry into it to protect her a little bit, but that could be where she thrives and builds a larger WrestleMania story.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Like her being a part of the Elimination Chamber. But as if, because I feel like the SmackDown or the women's title on the SmackDown side is basically going to be set. But like with Rhea's title, I feel like they're sprinkling the seeds with Rhea and Becky, because I feel like that's going to be a big match, and I feel like Becky Lynch at this point she's kind of becoming like a John Cena of the women's division. Do you guys feel that way? Like, I don't know. She's always putting these like big matches and stuff. I mean, she always thrives. She always does great, but I feel like she's becoming a John Cena at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was big match John, big match Beck.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's one that I think we will eventually get a Bianca Jade match. It might be too soon for that. They may hold off a little bit on that. I think the face-off that we're going to get, and Chris mentioned it a little earlier, I think we're going to get her and Nia facing off.
That could be really cool. Yeah,
that I could see that being her. I could see that being Jade's kind of showcase at WrestleMania, is her doing Jaded to Nia Jax, and that's how you debut her off huge, and you've built up Nia Jax a little bit now with a win over Becky Lynch. Maybe, give her a big win at a Chamber, have a strong showing in the Rumble, even have her eliminate Jade in the Rumble, and that's how you can kind of kick off that, and that could be Jade's first kind of big time program going into Mania, and then after that kind of get to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Before we move on to the next match, and this is, again, I'll pass this along to everybody in the podcast. That will start with you. Who do you see from NXT joining the fray?
So I think we will get, because we got Roxanne last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I could see Roxanne being there. I would have said Cora Jade, but she's out. I think Tiffany's going to show up. I think Tiffany's going to have a big showing as well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be someone that will have a really, really good showing. I could also see like a Lola Vice showing up and just kind of saying, okay, let's see what we got. And
that'd be cool.
Exposing her, because they're down in Tampa. So, that's...
It's not going to be hard to bring anybody in just to,
Yeah, I could see those three for sure. Nobody else really off the top of my head. Maybe somebody from the Metaphor, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it might be too early to throw Last Legend into that. I only very recently got on board with the improvement that she's showing, so we'll save that for somebody else that is a little bit more polished. I hate this gimmick.
How do you hate this gimmick?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this gimmick. I'm just not.
And real quick, and then I'll shut up. Thea Hale might be another one that they throw out there.
Love Thea Hale. Yeah, that'd be cool too. Also, Thea Hale went to wrestling school with one of our most recent guests, Ted Jarvis. Go check that out in the archives. Sorry, I'm a company man. I had to do it. Chris, do you see anybody from NXT showing up in the Rumble?
I just answered.
That's gonna be all night, my friend. All night.
You're the podcast dad. That's what we're calling.
I've been trying. I will start calling Mr. Hale Cool Chris in front of you if that's easy. If that's easier.
Oh, so this is Cool Chris. Okay, here we go.
As the lesser of the Chris's, I agree with the podcast dad on his predictions. I will also throw out there was a man who had probably a week of anybody in humanity. So wouldn't it be fitting if Ava made a appearance into the Royal Rumble as the Nepo that we were talking about a couple days ago?
No, that would no. I don't.
I know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not.
I get that.
Happen,
I get that. I just
she's been given a lot at a very young age, so I don't know if this is a crowning moment.
I think this is a good fit for her as a character that does not wrestle. I don't think that she needs the. Yeah, no.
Again, throwing the ball out there.
That's fair. That's fair. Justin, any final NXT thoughts?
Yeah, I think that we could definitely see Tiffany Stratton. I think that's like my number one on my list. Maybe Lyra Valkyria. I could see her being in the Rumble.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, she's with Briggs and Jensen. Fallon Henley. Maybe you could see her in the Rumble. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
mean,
the names I have on my list.
Yeah, I think that, and just to wrap this up, I think that, and this goes across both matches this year, the fact that this is the first time in a long time where the majority, if not all 30 spots have been announced in advance. And I mean, that's just the way that it should be. Leave some surprise and some wow for us to enjoy and not have it so repetitive. Mostly because I did suffer through the 2013, 2014, and 2015 Royal Rumbles today. And I'm as upset now as I was back then. So
to be honest, I wish they would still do that the lotto thing where that you spin that thing. What those called?
The
little
like the bingo
balls,
cage.
You spin that and then you get the number. See, I wish they still did that.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
that's
also,
what Johnny should do instead of buying a wheel.
Yeah. Also, I really hate how wrestlers, they announce like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be in the Rumble match." Well, of course you're going to be in the Rumble match. You don't need to announce it. Like wrestling these days, we don't really have those surprises as much as we used to. With all the dirt sheets, all the spoilers. That's what I kind of miss. But
I sat through a damn network special on Peacock thinking that there was going to be a major announcement, and it was just Becky and Nakamura declaring for the Rumble. So we're going to leave
that too. Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, we're going to leave the women's match on that. Next up on the card, we've got Kevin Owens challenging Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Seems like Kevin Owens is going to have that Undertaker role of the busted hand going into the match and seeing if he can knock out Logan Paul. Social media, there was a clip of them going at it in the Performance Center that broke out today. I don't know. Well, I'm just going to pass this one on to you guys. Podcast Dad, where you want to start here? I'll explain why in a second. Just go ahead.
You're not into this?
I mean, it's fine.
No, he doesn't.
And yes, Kyle, I do.
Yeah, no, it's I'm excited for this, man. I think Logan Paul has shown that he can have really good matches, and he's in there with Kevin Owens, who we know can have really good matches. So I don't understand your holdup, and
I get to it.
It's a little weird, but okay. I think Logan Paul will retain because I think Logan Paul is going to defend that title at Mania. I think he's going to lose it at Mania to someone that we'll talk about later, but yeah, I think Kevin Owens is going to get a really good match out of Logan Paul, and has the build been fantastic? Not really, but it's going to be a pretty good match, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Justin, how about you?
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed with this match. I think the match is going to be good, but the story, really isn't here for this match. Logan Paul, he's just that cocky prick. He that big guy with all the social media and stuff. There's really not much to this match here. Kevin Owens is going to get a good match out of him. I remember last year at the Rumble when Logan Paul and Ricochet did that spot across the ring. That was really cool. So hoping maybe Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, they do some big spot in this match. But I think it's going to be a fine match. But I think that Logan Paul is definitely going to be retaining here.
Mr. Hale.
Maybe the entourage gets involved as well.
Yeah.
I could
True.
see them costing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
Chris?
to agree with everybody who has spoken already, but I think Logan retains. I agree. The build-up hasn't been great. I've enjoyed his promos of making fun of Kevin Owens. It shows he has some ability outside of his ring acrobatics, if you will. I actually really enjoy. Sorry, that was my boss leaving. I actually really enjoy watching Logan Paul wrestle. Like, I never thought I would say that when he entered the WWE, but he's actually a pretty good performer.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be great spots in this match. This is setting up perfectly for Mania. I tried to think of what he would do and who he would go up against if he didn't have the title, and I couldn't really think of anyone. with that big of a prestige match. So it just makes sense that he's going to retain in this match.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair to say. And again, to address my disdain, consternation, whatever words you want to, substitute there. I know that this will be a good match. Logan Paul has exceeded, I think, every expectation that could have been expected. I think that he and Bad Bunny set the bar for what a celebrity professional wrestler should be, and what you need to do to be ready for those moments. I think
Johnny Knoxville didn't do it for you.
That was entertaining as hell. That was no. I loved every second of that match. I really did. But as far as kind of that, oh shit factor of you actually if you weren't famous before this and just decided, hey, you wanted to go to wrestling school, here you go. He'd be killing it on the indies right now if he didn't have the name and brand value that he has.
Podcast at Mania. Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, two celebrities go at it for the title. That would be something interesting.
I actually would not be upset at that.
They could pull it off too.
Yeah. They definitely could. I think for me, it's just we have seen how Triple H has rehabilitated the Intercontinental title, and what we've seen from Gunther. I've been waiting for that for the U.S. title, and Logan Paul being the guy that he is, being a celebrity, being a personality. No, we're not going to see him on TV every week, and I think that's what drives me nuts. Is that basically SmackDown has 2 part-time champions, so it's basically and then throw in Pat McAfee to join them, celebrity triple threat. That's
there you go.
There you go.
Let's run that in 2K23 or 2K24 coming out in March.
We don't get any plug for that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No free pub. No free pub.
Yeah, they're not paying us.
I'm excited for it, and you know what? Me showing my excitement might help us one day. You know what? All right, this is not good.
One day, not today.
You know what? Just because we've got company doesn't mean you get to act like this, okay?
Yeah, dude.
I don't want to go on a tangent, but hearing that triple threat just takes me back to a Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV. Hearing it just brings me back to that. I can't believe this is kind of a reality and it could happen. So I'm just blown away by that triple threat.
Yeah. No, I think that for me, SmackDown has 2 part-time champions. Logan Paul's only had 1 title defense since he's had this run. It just, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. I think that's all it is. What?
Okay. You've said your piece. How are they going to rehabilitate that title coming off of Austin Theory, who was a dead champion, to a Rey Mysterio, who was a transitional champion, and now you're upset because one of the 4 matches on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year is for the United States champion. That's how you rehabilitate it. Because I don't want to hear that they have part-time champions, because now they have 2 part-time champions on Raw as well. They're making title defenses feel bigger, and I like that.
But at the same time, we know that Logan Paul is not going to defend that title again until WrestleMania. It just
maybe he could be a Perth
defense in the chamber.
Yeah, he could be a Perth.
He'd be great in the chamber.
I think that he would. I don't think that that's how they're going to use the chamber. I am not a fortune teller. I'm just saying that this is the first title defense. He's had that title for 3 effing months. That bothers me. Okay, because we've seen Gunther do more, and there are other people on that. I mean, it certainly wasn't in 2024. I want to say late November, early December. I get that, but he also had a kid and took time off. So don't miss me with that bullshit, okay? All that I'm saying is that with the United States Championship, I would like to see Triple H do more of the same with that belt. I'm not saying that Logan Paul isn't an entertaining wrestler. I am not saying that Logan Paul, doesn't have some value that they can use on the road to WrestleMania, because that's all this is a money grab. I am just saying, I don't necessarily want a lengthy Logan Paul title run where he's going to show up periodically just to sit on commentary or not do shit. That's it. That being said, I am predicting that Logan Paul wins this match. Your turn now, Podcast Ed.
I made my point. I got nothing else to say. You're wrong. I think this is how you get more eyes on what was a dead title for a couple months. This is how you get so many. Say what you want. Logan Paul has how many million subscribers that are now going to watch tune into Peacock and
I
watch
referenced the
this.
money grab already.
And that's what it is, right? They're making money off of it. So
I made that point. I am just
rehabilitating
saying
the
that
title is part of that. Get more eyes on the product, and then once he loses, they stay with the product.
it'd be a lot cooler if they rehabilitated the title by him actually defending it on more than just a PLE. How about that?
But he's an attraction.
Again, I am just saying what I would prefer to see because of what we're seeing Gunther do. I basically want them to do that with the United States Championship. That's the only point I'm trying to make here, bud.
I'm just saying I'm okay with it how it is now.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Final predictions. Chris, we'll start with you.
Guest or dad?
What's that?
Guest or dad?
Podcast dad has already said his piece.
He's in on
Mr.
it.
Hale.
I like this guy.
I have Logan Paul.
All right. Justin?
Yeah, I got Logan Paul as well.
All right. Let's move on. Head of the table will be defending the Universal Championship in a fatal four-way match, taking on Randy Orton, AJ Knight, oh, damn it. Did I just say that?
Oh, wow.
AJ Knight.
What a debut.
Debuting from NXT. Yeah.
AJ Knight.
Wow. Can you imagine? In another world, that would have been his name.
Randy Orton, LA Knight, AJ Styles.
There we go.
Hey, that's our tag team. That's our tag team name. There we go. AJ Knight.
Oh, man. Well, Jesus Christ. Okay, so a lot of implications in this one, especially with the rumor and innuendo going on about the Kyle. Thanks for that, AJ Knight. Yeah. You know what? Okay, yeah.
Hey, that sticks. I like it.
Yeah, no, I think it absolutely does.
Making t-shirts.
So
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh god.
MVP there.
This is great podcasting. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, with a lot of the rumor and innuendo going around about what the marquee matches of WrestleMania are going to be, the fact that this is not a one-on-one match between Randy Orton and Roman Reigns like everybody thought it would be, have a lot of people thinking, is this where the reign comes to an end and there is a red and yellow clad jackass out there that is making my life miserable because we can't just move past this and end this title reign. We now have to acknowledge that January 23rd, 1984 actually happened and everybody wants to celebrate and print money and all that stuff. So anyway, does Roman Reigns lose the title here? Podcast Dad, we'll start with you.
See, originally when they made the match, I thought for sure this is the way they get the title off Roman. I thought Randy was going to be able to pin one of these two, and LA Knight or AJ Styles. See how I got that right? And that's how, Cody is able to finish his story, because it hasn't been about beating Roman. It's about capturing that title. There's a little bit more of history, a little bit more of a history with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. You could do the whole legacy thing and all that good stuff. Tell that story for the next couple months, and it would be awesome. Saying that, Roman Reigns is going second all time. He's breaking that record. That's how I feel right now, because they are pushing it so much. Last year on our show, if you remember our WrestleMania show, and I said it yesterday,
check it out in the archives.
When I was talking to you on a cell phone in my basement, it was that 1,000 days is so attractive.
Yep.
This record is so attractive, and who knows when they can get back there, that I think this is the time they're going to do it, and they're going to go for it, and that's what's going to happen. So Roman Reigns will retain. I shocked everybody.
Justin, how about you, man?
Hey, you actually had me bought on that point about Randy Orton there for a minute. That will be interesting, because Roman wouldn't have to take the pinfall here. He could pin. I feel like I feel like LA Knight would take. No, I feel like AJ Styles would take the pin more. Yeah, because you don't want to pin LA Knight. But then again, you brought up the record that how many days he's holding the title and stuff. Yeah, Roman is not losing here. I mean, everybody and their mama is probably picking Roman Reigns to retain here. You know, acknowledge a tribal chief, even though his title reign is boring right now. I mean, he's still entertaining. I mean, there's not a whole lot of storylines going on. There is some storylines going on right now in WWE. Outside of like Roman Reigns stuff, but this stuff is still hot right now. So yeah, Roman Reigns is going to win.
Yeah, Mr. Hale.
To me, this is the most predictable match on the card. My tribal chief, I acknowledge him, and he will retain the title. I find it, even though it's acknowledgeable, you can tell the story within it. And with the call out a couple months ago from the People's Champion, I could see if this was closing the show and this was the final match, Roman wins, and then all of a sudden, if you smell hits, and then that's how it closes the show. I can see that in my mind, and that's setting up for Mania. But I just don't see any of these other wrestlers taking over for Roman Reigns. Like the podcast dad said, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that the title reign record is in sights, and it just makes sense that Roman, from the push through the authority area, for the push all through everything that the sucker and succotash, even sticking with him, they're going to make sure he has the record and he's the top dog. No pun intended.
It's just,
come on. You know you agree.
Look. I think the biggest concern that I have is if Roman wins this match, who the hell else is there left that is a credible challenger that he's not already beaten, that you don't need to like warm up to get there? Just because I can't think of it.
They're not going to.
All right, so how the hell long do I have to wait for that match?
They're not doing that match.
I was just saying, if we want to legitimately throw that out there,
I would say Gunther. I would say Gunther.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's what I was thinking. So maybe, what if Roman holds the title up until like Bash at Berlin? Because I think that's like something like late August, and I think he would
another name too.
He would surpass Hulk Hogan's record. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember how many days.
It's mid-September, I think.
Yes, it is. It's just, and Kyle also suggested Bobby Lashley. I think the thing, at least with me, with that is he is so involved with Karrion Kross right now. I don't know how long that feud's going to last. And quite frankly, if you want to get the Final Testament over, Lashley and the Prophets can't win that feud. I mean, that's just me anyway. That's just my humble opinion that, I mean, if you want to actually make Kross a believable threat to anybody in WWE, he needs to win this feud because he's kind of shown up and, like podcast has said, really hasn't done all that much since he's returned. Here is a chance to correct all of that. And whether they do that or not remains to be seen. But, damn it, I just... For the purposes of wanting to pad my stats as far as predictions, I'm going to say Roman Reigns. My heart remains with Randy Orton to take that title.
There's still challengers left.
Lawyered.
And also, I feel like LA Knight and like AJ Styles, they might, one of them might end up like costing each other, and maybe you could set up a feud between AJ Styles and LA Knight because they got that backstory, going back to like what was it, Fastlane.
Yeah, I would really enjoy that as a Mania feud between the two of them. I mean, Knight is, not an AJ Styles in the ring, but AJ Styles knows how to get a great match out of anybody. So if Knight can have a singles match at WrestleMania with AJ Styles, why not? I mean, I'm definitely all for that, especially now that they have two nights to play with. So yeah, I guess we're all
acknowledging the tribal chief. I mean, the bloodline is definitely going to be getting involved in this match. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. No more Roman Reigns match. That's how it goes.
Just two more
His
challengers.
entrance is going to be longer than the match.
I'm just okay. Anyway, let's get on to the men's Royal Rumble. Oh yeah. Of course.
One more thing. So, podcast Dad, you mentioned that you're going to talk about Logan Paul and who he's going to face for the title at Mania. Maybe you and I are in the same way, but one of the losers in this match I see facing Logan Paul at Mania. And that, to me, is LA Knight. Yeah. For that match.
Yes.
That may not be breaking news or just a crazy prediction, but I see the feud already setting up for that, bringing that prestige that Mr. Cincinnati already wants or desperately wants for that title. I think he can carry the lineage of that title forward.
That is the appropriate adverb in that sentence. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. And that's why I'm okay with Logan Paul holding it for now. Because
we'll see how you feel after WrestleMania. You eventually change your mind on things.
No, because LA Knight's going to win.
Grayson Waller, Baron Corbin. Okay.
Jury's still out on Baron Corbin. I liked one segment.
Oh,
Baron
you
Corbin
put him over 24 hours ago.
I liked his entrance.
And you'll see. Oh, bullshit.
I didn't like his match. I liked his entrance.
You put him. No, okay. Do I have to go to the tape? I will go to the tape.
I don't care.
Yeah. You know so you agree? You agree with what I'm saying?
Baron Corbin. I have a feeling Baron Corbin is still on these years of bad luck. Because remember what happened back in 2020 in that Money in the Bank match when Baron Corbin broke that mirror?
Oh yeah.
7 years of bad luck. It's still going on.
You're not wrong.
Still going on.
That's fair.
But I mean, I don't know. There's something about this tag team that has worked to the point that the podcast dad said, I kind of love Baron Corbin right now. Those are his exact words. Team. Yesterday's episode is available on our archives. Check our social media channels.
It took him 10 years. There's another challenger for Roman, the last guy to beat him cleanly in a singles match.
Kyle said it, not me. Podcast dad confirmed. Big Corbin guy. Love it. Anyway, let's move on to the Royal Rumble here. The men's Royal Rumble, I should say. 30 men entering. Only a handful have been announced. This is the widest field I think that we've had in a very, very, very long time as far as potential winners. We've heard the rumors of Gunther, CM Punk. Widest.
Oh. I thought you said widest.
I thought you said whitest. I'm like, come on, man.
We're inclusive. It's 2024. Come on.
This is
coming from you of all people. I broke him, but I'm good. I'm good for at least one of those an episode. I got him. I got him.
This is
Hashtag
thought
canceled. Hashtag canceled.
Him, not me.
Anyway, this is the WIDEST field that there has been in a very long time for participants in the Royal Rumble match. There was a chance to tell a lot of stories here. We have seen Cody and Punk go at it face to face, and probably one of the best segments Monday Night Raw has done in a very long time. Gunther has also laid his claim. Seth Rollins is kind of a sitting duck with the knee injuries. Let's get right on into it. We're going to start with Mr. Hale. What you got in this match? Prediction? Anything you want to see? Just let's just chop it up.
God. Well, I want to save what I want to see in like my dream scenario till later. But
okay,
like you said, this is wide open. Not wide open, but at the top, it's very top heavy. And I think there's 7 guys off the top of my head that can win. And we're not even mentioning main event Jey Uso. And I really I want to know where he is. And his name's Main Event. You should be a part of it.
Yeah.
But
podcast dad is going to clap back here in a few minutes on that one.
I know.
It's a thing. Yeah. Just let him know. He doesn't get out much.
I just see a match ending with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk face to face as the final 2. It's just setting up for that with the segment on Raw, just their history together. That's what I see.
No yeet.
Okay. Justin, how about you, man?
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, this, like I said earlier, I think this men's match is more predictable. But I'm gonna say my final 4 is gonna be CM Punk, of course, Cody Rhodes. I'm gonna throw Gunther in there because Gunther, him coming out on Raw this past week, great promo between him and Seth Rollins. That was really good. And I'm wondering, my question: are they gonna let Seth Rollins, hold the title still? Do you think he's gonna be able to make it to Mania?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll do more promos. Because I feel like whoever wins this Rumble match is going to be picking, Seth Rollins, and then maybe they just do promos like building up, going into Mania.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very definite reality. I mean, at this point, especially given the 2023 that Seth Rollins had, I mean, he was on every PLE in 2023, the absolute definition of a workhorse. And we talked about this, in earlier episodes this week. We're fine with the fact that Seth Rollins is not advertised to compete at the Rumble. Roman's on the card. That's an appropriate substitute to have him defend his title because Seth is doing anything and everything, even though legitimately, he's at a point where he could consider a part-time contract right now if he wanted to do that. And we know or at least have been told, his contract is up this year. He is most likely going to resign. So we'll see if that changes anything as far as whether he transitions to any more limited dates or anything like that. But the fact that he hasn't, speaks to what he wants his legacy to be as a WWE superstar. Again, I'm fine with the fact that he is not on this card. Put him in bubble wrap for the next 3 months. Get him healthy because whoever he competes against at Mania, it's going to be a money matchup. Here's hoping it's Pepsi Phil.
The promo's gonna be fired back and forth. It's gonna be crazy. And then the last person who I think who's gonna be part of the Final Four, I'm gonna say Jey Uso. I'm gonna throw him in there.
Yeah. And I'll kick this over to podcast. That all I'll say is I don't disagree with any of the Final Four there. I probably wouldn't change anything else, but I might replace Jey Uso with Drew McIntyre. That would be the only change that I would make potentially.
That is a good one.
So I didn't give my Final Four, but it's the same exact thing. Drew has to be there. I see Punk eliminating him and ruining his story again, or ruining his time to get a title. Yeah. So I see that as well.
Okay.
I mean, Jay can also eliminate Drew. I don't know, because they still have that unfinished business.
Yeah. There is still that, and I know the podcast that has that same thought, so I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah. One thing real quick is, did any of you guys hear Seth on Daniel Cormier's podcast the other day?
No, I only read a couple transcripts, but that's it.
So what he said is he said this is a 30-day injury. He expects to be back in a month. And he said, my plan is not to, he's like, if it's all up to me, my first match back will not be at WrestleMania. So he's expecting to come back and wrestle before Mania. What that means, I don't know. Like it sounds like maybe the injury is just not as bad as what they were playing it up on TV. So maybe we see him back sooner than later. I don't know, but that's one thing I heard today that I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's still a lot of hope for him coming back sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
On the Rumble graphic that they promoted on Raw, Drew, Lashley, Punk, Cody, Nakamura, Gunther, Priest. Where's Jay? We have dropped the ball with Jey Uso.
They really have.
And it's not even, dude. He was in background to the New Day on Raw.
I guess it's no yeet.
No yeet. It's no yeet.
I have a feeling Jay and Jimmy, maybe they might eliminate each other in the Rumble. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, because I think that's the direction they go at Mania. Is Jimmy's going to cause Jay in the Rumble, and that's fine. But
a brother match.
I'm
mid-card Jay is
yes, that's where I'm at, because they haven't followed up. They just haven't followed up, and I haven't liked it.
No show Jey Uso.
Backstage segment Jey Uso. So my Final Four is Punk, Cody, Gunther, and I'm going to throw a wild card out there. Braun Breaker. Because I think they want to build something with Braun, and I think there's a spot in the Rumble where we see the man who cannot be seen maybe get eliminated by a Braun Breaker, and they can set up a match like that at Mania to give Braun hey, you're on the main roster, go beat John Cena, and let's go. That's my Final Four.
So you're also predicting that John Cena will be in the Rumble this year?
Dude, if Cena's in the Rumble, oh my Lord.
I'm not mad at it. I would not be mad if he showed up. I know that Hollywood's starting to reopen again. He's also saying he's got limited time left as far as the in-ring career. He might as well go out with a bang, to quote AJR. but it's time to get down to the nitty and the gritty prediction times. Oh, okay. Final four. So I'm going to say Cody. I'm going to say Gunther. I'm going to say Punk and Drew McIntyre. I know McIntyre. That one's iffy because of the contract situation. I don't know if this is a money issue that they're having with him, if it's a creative or what, because, I mean, that contract is right up after WrestleMania. You've also pointed out, Podcast Dad, 10 straight championship losses. I mean, he really hasn't shown any winning ways, even though he has been getting extended promo time with the likes of CM Punk. So, I don't know, you have a little column A, a little column B. I think, the idea of, Cody, I love you. I want you to finish your story, just not before I finish mine. There's just something to enjoy there. I mean, this is kind of this is the first time in a long time he's felt like a real credible threat to win the Rumble since that pandemic era. So,
not mad at that.
Ultimately, final prediction, and we'll kick this back around. I'm going to start. I'm going to say CM Punk. Mr. Hale?
I have CM Punk as well. It just makes the most sense. You don't have Seth Rollins at the end of War Games going that crazy for no reason. So that I have CM Punk.
Justin?
Yeah, I have to go with the Second City Saint himself, Mr. Pepsi Phil, Mr. CM Punk, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. And I think there's going to be some surprises also in this match. I feel like, there's rumors about maybe Okada being in this match. That'd be pretty cool. I heard people even throw The Rock out, like say The Rock's going to be in the Rumble, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. John Cena, that would be, dude, if we get The Rock and John Cena in this Rumble, oh my God. No.
Thrice in a lifetime.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. I definitely see that Braun Breaker. I can see him being in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Carmelo Hayes. I think he's probably going to be in the Rumble.
No.
Yeah, there's
Trick
this
Williams too, hopefully.
Trick Williams. Whoop that trick.
Yeah.
There's so many big names that can be in this, and so many different stories you can go with. It's gonna be fun, but CM Punk's gonna win here.
Yeah.
I'm raising my hand out of politeness. So there's an individual that is. I've been trying to follow a contract dispute or a contract not being signed yet that went through and hasn't been re-upped at January 1st, 2024. I spent the last 2 years that date. Does MJF make a appearance in the Rumble?
Oh God!
He should go on and troll people. He should just go on and troll people online.
You just get a nut tap people at the end of the show.
I'm just saying.
If MJF shows up, I'm sorry, AEW. You're
in trouble.
You're in trouble, AEW.
I hate that you asked this question. I love that you asked this question because, we know that he's relatively banged up. We don't know the extent of how banged up he is. We've heard rumor, we've heard innuendo. We know nothing about a contract, and I know that Podcast Dad and I have talked at length about what we have seen other wrestlers that are working without a deal or on a handshake. As far as what that could be and what that could look like, I don't
know if January can handle that.
After
everything we've had so far.
It couldn't, but at the same time, look at how swiftly William Regal was written off of AEW TV. That's the big thing is the second that he talked to Tony said, all right, well, I'm gonna let you out of your deal, and that's how they wrote him off of TV. Look how MJF was written off at the hands of Samoa Joe. That finish was already screwy enough as it is, where Bryce Remsburg is looked at the first two hands and then just kind of ignored the third one, and looked at the positioning of the hand. Did it actually go down? It was a weird way to look at.
But that's just
a
AEW
submission
refs.
finish. You know what? We're gonna start. We're gonna start a brand new board to see how many days you can go without criticizing the refs.
Shut up, real quick. What did you say, Justin?
I mean, except for Aubrey Edwards, she's the only really good ref in AEW.
Okay, never mind. Never mind, Eric. Keep going.
You need to put some respect on the names of referees. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm trying to be better. I want my refs to be better.
Okay.
Do better, refs.
That's right.
Anywho,
I think it was,
speaking of females,
Yeah.
speaking of females, I feel like Rhea Ripley maybe can make an appearance in this Rumble match. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe
I wouldn't
she
be mad at that. Yeah.
maybe she ends up costing Damian Priest some way.
Mm-hmm.
And because you already see some tension going on between the
Yeah.
Judgment Day a little bit right now. And I feel like R-Truth is going to do something crazy in this match here. He's going to maybe do something with the money. He's going to do something nuts.
I was going to enter the women's rumble.
I would love it if
he wins the women's rumble and he faces Rhea Ripley at Mania. Intergender match. There we go.
We're going back to Ellsworth with that one?
No.
I would love it if they found a couple of extras to play Tom and Nick Mysterio. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You like three faces of Foley, We have
right.
We have Dominic come out a few times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I don't think you can rule out Rhea being in this match. I mean, she doesn't have anything going on the card, but they're obviously trying to build and advertise towards Perth. This would be a fun way to do it, and just something that is, just in light of kind of the injury scares that we have seen on the road to WrestleMania. Something that's very quick, easy, just to get her on TV. But any final thoughts on this card, gentlemen?
You didn't get my prediction.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just have said so damn much. I'm sorry.
I threw a loop with my
How many shows have we done?
Right.
And you choose to start ignoring me?
105. That's my bad.
Yeah.
What you got?
So I have changed my mind today.
Okay.
In the light of some news that we have found out today with a lawsuit and a certain person being named in that lawsuit,
Oof.
I'm changing my pick to Gunther. Because I don't know if the person named in that lawsuit will now have a match at WrestleMania or be at the Rumble. So, thank you. Oh, that was the best compliment all day. So,
All right.
I think I'm going to go with Gunther, and you laid it out months ago, and I will give credit where credit is due about doing a title versus title at Mania with the IC in the world with Rollins and Gunther. And I'd be happy with it, and I think that's a big enough match to main event a night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, Kyle also says, welcome to Team Gunther.
Knew I liked them.
Yeah, it's hard not to like them. Yeah.
Doesn't like you.
I don't think that's accurate, but whatever. It's fine.
You almost got kicked out of the main event network with your remarks.
I would not say that. I wouldn't even say that I really had any heat. I would say that it was just kind of lukewarm thoughts. That's all.
So they were there.
All right.
Any final predictions, guys?
I don't know. I mean, this is going to be chaos. I mean, the field feels wide open. This is the chance to do something on the road to what will likely be the biggest WrestleMania that has ever been produced. I don't know. Everything is on the table at this point, so I just encourage everybody to wait, see, and we'll just kind of see where the chips land and see what shit happens. Mr. Hale?
Well, I don't want to brag. I just want the best card for Mania because I will be there, and
I'll be there too.
Very nice.
There
Very
we go.
nice.
Half this podcast will be there. So
and not us.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I like I said, I want Punk to win. His return was one of the best returns I could remember in a long time. I just want to see that go through. I don't know, man. Just seeing Cody and CM Punk, I know I'm bringing it up again, and then all of a sudden MJF's music kind of hits, kind of middle finger to AEW. I think that would be great, but again, I'm just excited for this. This has been my favorite pay-per-view for my entire life, so I'm really excited about it. Or PLE, as they call it these days.
Yeah.
Showing my age a little bit.
That's okay.
Pay-per-view.
That's all right. Justin, final word to you, man.
Yeah, this is gonna be an awesome weekend of wrestling. I'm excited for it. Rumble has always been one of my favorite pay-per-views, and just having that thought of what if MJF does show up now? You got that going on in my mind right now, and that promo that MJF and Punk had like a few years ago. Oh my god, the grass being greener on the other side. Like it's doing that double standard there. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. Also, I want to see Cody finish his story. But I don't want to see him win the Rumble. I think that's gonna be if he wins the Rumble, I'm gonna kind of be upset. But I mean, I like because like I said, I want to see Cody finish the story. But I mean, if Cody doesn't end up finishing the story, you know what he should do? He should just go back to being Stardust at that point. Go back to being Stardust, or go back to AEW at that point if you don't finish that story. Because I feel like Cody is gonna win the Chamber. Like they're gonna do like a qualify or like a number one contender, to face Roman at Mania. But again, I mean, you also throw in the Rock stuff. Like to be honest, the Rock and Roman do not need to happen at Mania. It does not need to be for.
It doesn't even need a belt.
Yeah, that doesn't need a belt. I mean, that's a big draw for itself. I mean,
I said what I said.
Yeah, it doesn't need a championship. Yeah. Like they could do the match at Chamber. But I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's going to happen at Mania.
Yeah, they're going to have like 41,000 in an arena. You can't tell me that's going to not worth having the Rock and Roman in it. Like I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Podcast Dad, I acknowledge that this is now your time to give your final thoughts on the Royal Rumble. It's your turn.
I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble. As our special guest Chris says, this is also my favorite show of the year. I've always loved the Rumble. It's crazy how much we have in common. We should talk more.
We should. Yeah.
It's very exciting. This one does feel a little wide open. It feels like we're going to get. I think we're going to get a couple surprises. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I like that it's a 4-match card because it puts more emphasis on the Rumble matches, and that's kind of something we've seen with Triple H cards so far. Is there's not a ton of stuff going on these cards. They're 5-6 matches, so every match
like
feels
not a lot of filler on these pay-per-views.
Yeah. Everything just feels so important now, and I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. I echo everybody's sentiments here. I mean, this is WWE's All-Star Game, and it gets us set up for the biggest show of the year. I think no matter what, we are in for an entertaining time. Lots of surprises. This really doesn't feel like what we've seen in the last couple of years as far as kind of predicted winners. Everything's changing by the day. So as we wrap up our Royal Rumble preview show, Chris, Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Justin, tell everybody where they can find you on YouTube.
Yeah, so you can go subscribe to my channel, Juggernaut097. I do a lot of wrestling content on my channel. I do retro pay-per-view reviews. I've been reviewing a lot of Rumble pay-per-views this month here, so definitely go check those out. I also do predictions on my channels. I do I do reviews as well. A whole bunch of wrestling content. I do vlogs as well. So definitely go check out my channel. On the road to 1,000 subs. So yeah,
let's get them there.
Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. Help a brother out. Justin, thank you for joining us. Chris, where can everybody find you?
On the streets. No. I'm just.
So if I go on the street right now, I'll find you. If I go on
the, I'm here, there, everywhere. Just doing this work thing. I work in athletic development, so if you have an opportunity and in nonprofit space, so for me, if you're listening, just give back to your community. Just be a part of the community. Invest in the future. Invest in people's reasons why they do things. So that's my message for everybody. Just have fun. This is like the holiday season for me. WrestleMania is like Halloween. Get that hope. The Royal Rumble is the Halloween. You have that hope, excited for it. And then Christmas, New Year's is that WrestleMania. So with it being holiday season for wrestling fans, show some holiday love.
Yeah, no, well said. Could not have said that better myself. Again, hit that subscribe, hit our QR code, like, share. If you know just one person, would you just not?
Trying to get point to the QR code. You got me all mirrored.
That might be a little hard. You might have to reach through Mr. Cincinnati's channel.
We do that. Like it's right there. We do this like once a just what? Okay. QR code is right there. Like, share, subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 across all of our social media channels. If you know even one person that would enjoy this podcast, just share it with them. Let them find out for themselves. We've got humor. We've got drama. We've got me messing up wrestlers' names. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Whatever. Really? And I appreciate all of you guys joining us today. That'll do it for us this week. Be on the lookout for some exclusive content. Podcast Dad and I will be watching the Royal Rumble together. We're going to make some good eats. We're going to have some predictions, reactions live to our shows. So be on the lookout for that. If you are going to the Rumble this weekend, stay safe, be kind, enjoy. Effie's Big Gay Brunch is also this weekend. Check that out on Troller TV. And the card is stacked. Rico Gonzalez and the Creeps are going to be on that card. If you've not checked out our interviews with them, go check them out on our archives. For Justin, for Chris, for the podcast dad, I am Mr. Cincinnati. This has been the Wrestling Junkies podcast, and we'll talk to you guys soon.